hello.
Come here, come here. Come here.
Everyone say hello.
Okay, I got our people now.
Oh, say hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, it's recording.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye. Okay. 2 Corinthians 12:10. For the sake of Christ, then I am content with weakness, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities. For when I am weak, then I am strong. If you ever heard of OCD, then you know it stands for obsession compulsion disorder. Many people in this world deal with OCD every day, including myself. Today I'm going to inform you what is OCD, my personal story, Bill Ford's story, and God's influence on dealing with OCD. OCFoundation.org states, this is a quote, that 1 in 100 adults in the U.S. are dealing with OCD, which is approximately 3 to 4 million. At least 1 in 4 or 500,000 kids in the U.S. also have to face struggles with living with OCD every day. The definition of OCD by MayoClinic.com is so-called obsessive compulsion disorder is an anxiety disorder characterized by unreasonable thoughts and fears that lead you to do repetitive behaviors. With obsession compulsion disorder, you may realize that your obsessions aren't reasonable, and you may try to ignore them or stop them. That only increases your distress and anxiety. Ultimately, you feel driven to perform compulsion acts in an effort to ease your stressful feelings. An example would be that a person is afraid of germs, so he or she would wash their hands excessively to help ease their fear of germs. OCD can occur any time between ages of preschool and adulthood. OCFoundation.org states that usually OCD occurs between ages 8 to 12 and between late teens to adulthood. Symptoms include obsessions and compulsions. The definitions of obsessions from MayoClinic.com is OCD obsessions are repeated, persistent, and unwanted ideas, thoughts, images, or impulses that you have involuntarily and that seem to make no sense. These obsessions typically intrude when you're trying to think of or do other things. Some examples of common obsessions are doubts that you turn off the lights or turn off the stove, impulses to shout obscenities in inappropriate situations, and fear touching items that are constantly touched by others. The definitions of compulsions by MayoClinic.com is compulsions are repetitive behaviors that you feel driven to perform. These repetitive behaviors are meant to prevent or reduce anxiety related to your obsessions. Some examples of compulsions are counting in certain patterns, checking doors repeatedly to make sure they are locked, and washing your hands until they are raw. OCD can be cured, almost cured, but it just can't be cured by pills. You have to go through multiple therapies. An excessive approach to therapy is cognitive relational therapy. AnxietyNetwork.com states that this therapy involves gradually exposing you to a feared object or an obsession to help you better cope with your obsession. In order to help maintain your OCD better, you have to be ready to fight. You have to realize in order to get help for OCD, it's going to be a lot of hard work, which I learned the hard way. When I was 11 years old, I was diagnosed with obsession compulsion disorder. When I first found out about it, I didn't know how to act. I didn't understand why I was different from the kids around me. I wasn't normal. I hid the fact that I had OCD for many years. I didn't want kids knowing because I was afraid they'd make fun of me. Since I've been 11, I've been constantly dragged to one therapist to another and taken too many pills that I can count. Up until recently, I never understood, in order to get better, I can't be afraid to fight. I can't just take a pill and think everything is going to be okay, because it's not. I'm afraid that I have to deal with having OCD for the rest of my life, which is a good possibility. Eventually came to the realization that I have nothing to be worried about or ashamed about. I'm not the only one in this world who goes through the pain of having OCD every day. There are many stories of people who have learned to cope with OCD and live a perfectly normal life. One of the stories is about a man named Bill Ford. When Bill Ford was a young boy, he would spend hours in church going to confession, trying to convince the priest that he had some feelings or thought that was going to lead him straight to hell. After high school, Ford's obsessions greatly increased to other intention details, such as spending day and night checking different parts in his car because he thought he was going to injure a child. He eventually lost his ability to drive. Ford realized that his life was spinning out of control, eventually got help, and now he is a 50-year-old psychiatric social worker at the Milwaukee Psychiatric Hospital. One of the main reasons I'm not afraid to share that I have OCD is that I know I'm not alone. Many people have OCD or other mental disabilities that run to every day, but you just don't know it. If you're dealing with OCD or other mental disabilities, I want to let you know that you're never going to be alone. What you're feeling and what you're struggling with. Even if you don't have anybody physically around you, there's always God. When I have an especially rough day, I ask God to help me and surround me with His love. Deuteronomy 31:5-6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He never leave you nor forsake you. Dealing with OCD is a daily battle, and I can't be afraid to fight.